Devora Wilhelm is a shlucha on the Upper East Side of Manhattan under the direction of Rabbi and Mrs. Krasniansky. She and her husband have established a vibrant community for young professionals in their area. Offering authentic, positive Yiddishkeit with a focus on encouraging healthy Jewish marriages and homes, Devora tries to focus most on being an example to her community on this front. Please welcome Devora Wilhelm.
I started walking down the emergency staircase of our apartment building. Somewhere between the 3rd and 4th floor, I stopped, turned around, and went back home. It was a Friday night. About 8 years into our shluchas, 5 children, Kanai Nahara. My husband was already at the big Friday night dinner event we were having, and I was gonna go after settling the kids down. This was our routine for a while. About once a month, we did something out of the house for Shabbos. When the kids were little, I'd put them to bed, and then I'd go. When they got a little older, we did a family meal, the babysitter would come, and then I'd go. But that Shabbos, mid-step, I said, I'm never leaving my kids for Friday night again. The struggle had come to its head. The tug of war, the balancing act, the dance between our shluchas responsibilities and family life, the doubt, the angst, the exhaustion, there's only 24 hours in a day reality. Questions like, where am I meant to be? My husband's at an event while I'm at home with the kids. Shouldn't I be there too? My community needs their rebbitzin. And when I do go to an event, I'm plagued with guilt. I shouldn't be here, I should be home. Am I not supposed to be the constant in my kids' life? What about their schedules, their Shabbos, their Yud Shvat? But then, what about the Kala who's only available at 9 p.m., and if I don't learn with her, then she probably won't go to the mikveh? The growth of our Chabad house paralleled the growth of our family, and that didn't seem to align very neatly. Am I okay with my decision that today I'm choosing to just be a mother and not be involved in every decision for Chabad? And why do I have to be the bad guy whenever planning a Chabad activity saying, well, what about the kids? Throw in the adventures of raising our children in general. No one prepared us for that. And of course, the Shalom Bayis roller coaster, plus all the other ups and downs of life. On that stair, my gut told me it's time to make a shift. I was always going to go on shluchas. I had the tremendous gift of growing up on shluchas. Thank you, Ma'anta. As did my husband. Thank you, Shver and Shviger. It basically wasn't even a decision, Baruch Hashem. Like everything else in my life, I had visions, expectations of what said shluchas would look like. Prime operator, involved in everything, teaching all the time, etc., etc. Honestly, I don't even remember what I envisioned. And then, through actually living it in real time, I realized that, number one, those visions were not realistic. Number two, it wasn't what I really wanted. Number three, it's not even what my husband wants for me. Number four, this isn't per se what the Rebbe wants. And number five, it's definitely not what the Eibishter wants. How do I know that? Because he sets my path. He sets the stage, and I just have to play the part. How do I know what that part is? I open my eyes, look around me, and see what's going on. I open my ears, listen to the voices inside of me and around me. I lean into the teachings of our holy Torah and our beloved Chassidus, farbrang with fellow Chassidim, and consult with a mashpia. All of this is Hashem talking to me, directly directing me. When I know that Hashem is the be-all and end-all, when I know that his path for me is the only true and right path, and the path of calm and joy, then it becomes so clear. When my eyes are open to this reality, I can see it everywhere. The shift, to clarify, is the all-time cliche that is critically existential and radically realistic. Family first. This is the ultimate shluchas. Everything else is not a contradiction to that, but rather an extension of it. Was the shift hard? Yeah, I'd say so. Every change from expectation to reality is. Do I constantly have to re-go through the process of how I arrived here? Absolutely. Do I know that shifts will keep on happening? Yes. Do I trust in Hashem more and more each day? Yes, too. Growing up with the knowledge that Hashem knows best and directs us in our path, otherwise known as Hashgacha Pratis, is one thing. Seeing it in real life is another. With my children, our finances, our shluchas, and every area of our life, it's as clear as day. Thank God for God. To have complete trust in the ultimate, in the infinite, to know you're in the best of hands, I can't imagine living life any other way. So I've surrendered. I have taken a deep dive into the mikvah of Ein Od Milvadai and try to make that my daily frame of mind. We all know that Tibul is bittul, and that's when you truly find yourself. As my shifting deepened, I had to internalize that all that happens to me actually helps me shape my neshama to be the best version of herself. This was the only way I could deal with all the stuff that came up. The stuff is all the things I mentioned before, regurgitating itself over and over again in all shapes and forms. I then applied this principle to all the women in my community who were coming to me with their problems, mostly for a listening ear, sometimes a hug, advice on special occasions. Lately, it's been in droves. It was getting to me. Every time they left, I right away looked up and said, Hashem, really? And then I'd sniffle, be down, and there went my day. This was an untenable situation. Yes, everyone is suffering in one way or another. Hashem, really? But if it gets me down, that doesn't help anyone either. Enter application of the idea that if Hashem gives said person challenge, they can handle it. So I'm freaking out because I couldn't handle it because I don't have to. But they can. It's hard as anything, and I so empathize with their pain. But knowing that they were given the tools to deal can help me be there for them. I can be their cheerleader. And secondly, Hashem created every neshama to do its thing. And part of that process, the way it's going to get done, is through the path Hashem sets it on. So instead of looking at flesh and bones, I can focus on the neshama in front of me, and again, be their cheerleader in this process. In my I'm sick of Galus mind, I'd rather it be a different way, but nobody asked me. So this mindset is how I deal with it. Tut als was ihr kennt. Does this haunt you? It haunts me. Okay, there we go. Now I know. Do I really have to look at myself as the one who's going to bring the world to its ultimate reality? But these are the Rebbe's words. So the next shift. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. I want to approach this mandate with joy and gladness in my heart. The Rebbe says, was ihr kennt. We all have the same mission to bring Mashiach, in other words, to open our eyes to the true reality, to listen to the one reality, Hashem, bringing Aleph into Gaila, living fully with Gettlichkeit. But it's tut als was ihr kennt, and tut als was ihr kennt. I can't do you. I have to do me, my neshama's bidding. And I'd probably cry thinking about what you have to go through. But I have zero doubt that you can, because I trust in Hashem, who trusts in you. I can be your cheerleader, and you can be mine. Pretty please. Hashem is the only reality. And when we live with that, the Geula is ours for the taking. When we embrace that, we can go on his path instead of fighting it. It's a relief. Let's talk to him like we would a real person standing in the room with us. Let's randomly say a kapitel Tehillim when walking down the street. Learn Torah and fill up our oxygen tank with our truest sustenance. And learn Chassidus. Be makusher with the Rebbe, because that's the only way to truly understand what Hashem, also known as Geula, is. This is all really back to basics, but that's because that's what Mashiach is, back to basics, the Aleph Beis of existence, back to the way the world was always meant to be. We got this. L'chaim.